Hello, comrades. We're back with another episode of this Jungle Heat Clan Wars Season 2 Attack Episode 3. And we're in skirmish mode now. We're going on to our next base to attack. And it appears to be... Oh, we got another guy who jumped up, a Franz, level 166. So let's go ahead and take a gander and see what we got going on here. Franz's base is reasonably legit. It's really clumped together, and this is actually really good if you're going to be running a vortex strat. He's got incendiary spiders, and he has them for both, so I'm probably not going to worry about airstriking them. The problem with this base is there's all this open white space, all this area that you can deploy your troops. And because he has some defensives, I am going to go back and revisit him through his clan so I can see what those defensive monuments are, because that is important as well, as I had to learn the hard way on the first failed attempt. So we'll go to Franz clan info, search for him. Hopefully, yep, he's right there, Lieutenant. Visit, and if I'm lucky, he'll have the same monuments as his tournament base, and he does, and they're full. So deceleration time. Now this is only applicable for level 12 walls. It's good if you have level 12 walls. The problem is he doesn't, so that's a worthless monument. Unlimited capacity is awful. Damage to attacking troops is awful. So overall, I think I'm going to have great success with this base. It's just a matter of picking and choosing where I'm going to drop my airstrikes. So why don't I go back to the home, let's assess, and let's attack. We'll see what we can do here. The big thing I need to figure out is on what side am I going to attack this base, because the side is really important. You want to try and get to the center, so I'm really leaning more towards here since there's few defensive structures. I'll probably drop an airstrike right around this area right here. Let me check the HP on this bunker. I think it's around, yep, it's 1700. So I am probably going to hold off and wait until these guys are aggro. I'm probably just going to let them aggro and let the vortexes deal with them. So at any rate, the other option is to go from the other side. I'm actually leaning more towards that because there's only these two worker huts as opposed to the workshop, the oil storage, the lightning gun. That also is another high HP unit. A 26 versus what, 200 maybe, 250. So yeah, we are absolutely going to go in through this side. So I'm going to drop my vortexes right here. I'm going to probably airstrike these guys so that I can soften the defenses. And then I'll probably airstrike these guys as well, because once we get into the middle, the vortexes are going to start to scatter. So let's try the strategy and let's see if it works. We'll do our sapper maneuver as usual. We'll drop some bombs to make it a little bit easier so that we can deploy our heroes and get some good deep effort on this base, and we'll go from there. So here's 3. I do want to use a unit that has range. That way I don't really need to worry too much about losing a lot of momentum. So I'm adequately satisfied that we got what we need to get an effective attack rolling. So 2 down, another 2. Now this is bad because now my guys are going around the side. I did not do this well enough, unfortunately, so I'm going to have to improvise here. Oh, and I deployed all of my bombs at the same time, and that's why you don't do that. You have to turn it off afterwards. So I'll have to adapt now. Sometimes you have to adapt when things don't really go your way, and there's no harm, no foul. I'm holding off on these airstrikes so I can see when I'm actually going to need them. And I'm not really sure that I'm going to need them, but just to be safe, I'm going to drop one here, because most of the defenses are pretty much extinguished. It's just a matter of going through the motions and ensuring that all the non-essential structures are taken out in a timely manner. I've never really had an issue with time when it comes to running with vortexes, but every once in a while, if they're hung up on a wall, like what this guy's doing, and he's also going to get chewed up on a wall. This is why you want those bombs, and this is why you also don't want to deploy them all at once. So I made a mistake on this attack, and that's okay. We all make mistakes, and that's part of what makes the difference between a good attack and great is efficiency, optimizing, using all of your resources. I mean, if you take a look at this vortex, he just spent like 5 rounds trying to chew through this wall. I probably could have got it done in like 1 or 2. And against those tough bases, seconds matter. Attacks matter. But fortunately, I was able to walk away and still get a 3-star on this base. So that concludes our episode 3, I believe. We're going to move on to episode 4, and we'll take a look and see who the next contender is.